brought to you. At the front, please. Hello, at the front, please. Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, Graham. Football looked like it was very popular. Is that something you always do?
The football outside? Yeah, we like to mix it up a little bit. Our boys are very talented with the rugby ball, but probably with the soccer ball, they need a bit more practice.
What are the rules in it? Not too many hard tackles, is it?
Asking the wrong person, not very good at football either.
They seem very excited, though. Is it part of the sort of culture of building up the spirit within the camp?
Yeah, like our boys love games, you know, just to warm up and get the energy flowing. It doesn't take much for our boys to get excited.
Who's the best footballer in the squad?
Probably Sam Matavesi. He's grown up in Cornwall in the UK, and yeah, I guess as a kid in the UK, he grew up running around playing football as well as rugby. So, yeah. And
sorry, last one on the football. I'll leave it alone. What was that old ball? It looked like a very an old favourite ball. Maybe it's been around a long time.
Oh, I think that's our trainer's Tweety. That's his from back in England. It's probably a little old memento that he's brought along. Yeah.
Right, and
thank you. Any other questions? Yes, gentleman there, please, on the left.
Hey, Graham. Leo Isma from AFP, Press News Agency. Weissea said yesterday the match tomorrow will be double or quits. Is it your feeling too?
Every game for us is double or quits. We want to do the best, represent ourselves and the country to the best of our ability. So every game for us is a double or quits.
Yeah, but if you are losing, if you are losing tomorrow, the qualification will be very hard to get. No.
Agree. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. To the right.
Yesterday, Barnaby Chesson from AFP as well. Yesterday, Australia were saying that they've been particularly focusing on their defence in the lead up to this game and getting around the ball carrier and trying to stop the offload. How does it feel for a country like Fiji when the superpower is focusing on how to stop you rather than sort of how to score tries?
Yeah, certainly when we hear that, it gives us confidence. But the main thing for us, we just need to worry about ourselves, working on the basics, doing the basics really well. And if we can do that, they can practice all they want.
Thank you. Any other questions, please? And remember, you can ask in French. We have translation. At the front again, thank you.
It's Graham, been a really long winless streak against Australia. What will be the keys to ending that?
Yeah, it has been a long time. I think the last time Fiji beat Australia was 1954. So for us, reflecting on last week's game, if we had just done a few things and nailed the basics, we would have just nailed those opportunities that we had. So it's the same thing. Nothing changes. Just do the basics and our natural game will flow. Those offloads will come into play when we get good front ball. Just playing the natural Fijian style.
Thank you. Gentleman right at the back, please.
Graham, thank you for your time. Johnny Hammond from ITV Sport in the UK. Joshua and Semi effectively swapping positions traditionally from where they've played. What's the thinking behind that?
Obviously, we want to give Josh a go. He's a big power runner. We see Australia as a team that has a lot of power runners as well. So we want to bring some of our biggest power runners on right from the start this weekend.
Thank you. Any further questions? Gentleman here, please.
French journalist. What changes are you going to make? Between the game versus Wales on tomorrow, most big changes.
In terms of the game plan?
Yeah.
We're just going to play like Fijians. Not many changes. As I said earlier, if we just do the basics and nail that, we should be able to play the best that we can.
Thank you. Any further questions? It's perfect timing, if not, because we have... Yes, coming. Okay. Okay, thank you. We're joined by Isoa Nasilasila. Hopefully got that right.
Yes.
Welcome. Any questions for Isoa, please? Gentleman there, please.
Earlier this week, Australia were talking about how obviously Fijian players are known for their flair, but in recent years there's been a progress made in the forward pack, and there's a very big forward pack now, and is much more of a threat to other teams than was perhaps the case in the past. Is that something you feel from the inside?
Yeah, definitely. I think over the past few years we've had a real emphasis on building our set piece as a forward pack, trying to build a game around that, because obviously a rugby game you can't really play without set piece. So individually I think we've done a pretty good job at building our set piece as a forward pack.
Thank you. There was a question here, please.
So there's been a fair amount of investment in Fijian rugby over the last 4 years. Can you give us a few personal examples of what difference that's made to you and in your day-to-day experience?
Well, personally, they've made a big investment, just especially with things like the HPU Academy and all the work that the HPU's been doing over in Fiji, because obviously I'm from Australia, so I came over for under-20s, and HPU played a big part in helping me become where I am today. So I think they've made a big progress in their investments, and it's paid out in the end.
And with Drua itself, what difference has that made to the rugby culture in Fiji and giving the fans something they can really own?
It's really good, because obviously Super Rugby's been around for ages, and Fijians, they've really only had 2 teams. And for all the young kids growing up, they can look at the Fijian Draw players and see, so that's their team, and they can aspire to be someone that's like close to home for them, and like they can relate to. Obviously, a lot of the boys, they grew up in the village, stayed there, and played for the local Skipper Cup team. So it just gives the young boys more role models to aspire to be.
Thank you. We're joined straight off the pitch by Eroni Maui. I can still hear him breathing heavily, so maybe give him a second before a question. But we've now got a complete top table. Next question at the back, please. I think you wanted a question? Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you.
Guys, it's often said that Fiji play their best rugby with smiles on your faces. How difficult is that becoming? Because that invitation to the top table is beckoning, and you have an incredible opportunity tomorrow to get effectively into a quarter-final. How difficult is it to keep those smiles on faces?
It is tough, especially with the amount of pressure that we know that we're going to be handling tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon. So, but I think just as long as we get our set piece and our plays right, and because we know how to play with each other, so I think at the end of the day we'll be smiling. But yeah, it's pretty hard when you got the amount of pressure on.
Thank you. Next question, please. No? Oh, we put yes at the front. Thank you.
Aroni, as a Saracens player, Saracens well known for being a pretty hard-nosed team and very pragmatic, maybe different from the natural Fijian way. Have you brought some of that Saracens sort of spirit as well into camp?
Maybe, yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't say put all the Saracens atmosphere, but it's more of a Fijian atmosphere, trying to blend with the boys and all this kind of stuff. Because Saracens it's an English Premier League. It's just so I brought a little bit of it to the camp, but it's mostly just about the Fiji rugby. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? We have a couple of minutes left. Is there any further questions? Yes? Front, please.
Off-topic question, but I was reading in a French paper that the Fijian squad had been given permission to dig a hole in the park in Bordeaux for cooking lovo. Is that true? And have you cooked that? And how was it?
Yeah, we did. We did cook a lovo for the team. Probably management jumped in and prepared with some of our non-players. So probably asked these two, how did it taste, boys? Was it any good or in the UK?
Oh, yeah, it was good. After the game, good.
Any final questions? No? In which case, thank you very much for your time today and good luck for tomorrow's match. And thank you, media. There'll be Australia following this afternoon and they will be arriving at the stadium at 1 o'clock and we're aiming for their briefing to be at 2:15. But please stay agile. Timings can change. Thank you very much.
Thank you.